All right, here I am. I am live. Looks like it's just me right now. I was hoping Memphis would jump on with me, but Steve's just getting off of work, so he won't be available for a little bit. But I thought I'd jump on, talk a little bit about the showdown, the real one. It was a good time. Um, we had to take a couple weeks off of the show. Obviously, we were buried right before the showdown, and then after we got back, last week I was working with a customer, and we were chatting outside and looking everything over. And by the time I was finished up with him, I was 20 minutes late for the show, and the guys hadn't bothered to create the show and jump on. So we missed 2 weeks in a row. But man, the showdown was fantastic. We had a really good time. The weather was a little rough. It was windy as shit, which I guess it could have been a whole lot worse. Could have been a freaking snowstorm or rain or something really ugly. But the wind was blowing pretty good. There was a few times you'd be standing there having a conversation with somebody, and it'd be almost like you get kitty litter in your mouth. You're like, okay, the dust blew into my mouth, and now I'm so, yeah, Jerry Eastman was going at it with the demo rig. He cranked that thing up loudest it's been. It was brutal. It was badass. He was first time I seen that thing making a bunch of heat on the subs and showing some voltage drop, and it was crushing. That build is so fucking badass. It was a good time. Craig was out there. But yeah, the show was good. It was fun. Such a good show that everybody wants to name their show the Showdown, I guess, is what I'm told. Rumor has it. Yeah, but anyway, that's funny. I'm just joking around with people. It kind of sucks balls. Probably why we call, it's like when I was creating my business name, I named it Gately Audio because I figured nobody would take that. And so the Gately Audio Show, it'd be really weird if there was another Gately Audio Show if we weren't doing it ourselves. So there's that. Yeah. Anyway, up and coming is the Gately Audio Show, May 2nd and 3rd. And y'all should go get registered if you haven't already. There was a few people being weird and dramatic and whiny about the price of the event. Like, it has to cost more money because we're part of this big ass Autorama car show event. So they have to get their money. And we're not making money. Gately Audio doesn't make money off the Gately Audio Show per people's entries. We make our money off of advertising Gately Audio with the Gately Audio Show. So we're just trying to not lose our ass by creating the event. And if $120 is too much money for you to enter an event, you probably shouldn't have all those big ass speakers and all that silly shit in your car anyway. Really? I don't fucking get it. That's like that. Yeah, I get it. That doesn't seem smart, actually, at all. But yeah. But yeah. Fucking Gately Audio Show is going to be a really good time. I think Steve was considering possibly looking at some different locations, maybe. Oh, look what I got. I got a friend.
You got a friend in me.
I got a friend in me. Oh, God. That's weird.
Inside.
You got a friend in you?
Yeah. It's hiding in there.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Well, that'll be rad. We'd love to have you out there, Craig. Fuck around. You were talking about the Gately Audio Show a little bit. We were talking about the Showdown, the real one. I was saying it was such a good show that other people want to name their show the Showdown, because there are so many people in our industry. They don't have any creativity. They can't even think of their own name of something. They would rather just,
if it works,
back up. Like, I'm gonna make my shit look just like that, guys.
That's what I'm calling mine. It's literally next year. It's gonna be the Gately Audio Show.
I was just saying, I named my business Gately Audio because it was easy to not have somebody else have the name Gately Audio.
Just
and
wait.
so we named the game the audio show. And I was like, probably won't be one unless I'm doing it. But here we are, this motherfucker.
Just wait.
Steven,
Even gonna put your face on the flyer.
Are you gonna put the 212s in the sealed configuration in the 911? I am dying to hear that. So I'll tell you guys what I'm talking about. We put some of our Relentless. Okay, let's rewind. Stephen Dunn's build has a single Relentless 12 in a just under 2 cubic foot ported box, bunch of fiberglass work in the back of his Porsche 911. It's beautiful rear seat delete, super sexy fiberglass work. That Colt with a bunch of help from Stephen Dunn. It was probably like a really awesome fabrication lesson for Stephen. He hung out the whole time we did the build. It was a good time. But we built the box in a way that if he wanted it to be a sealed box, he could have, you know, like 1.85 or 1.9 cubic foot sealed after sub displacement. But it would take a bit of effort. He has to kind of demo out the port, which isn't too difficult. It's a 3D printed port, but we definitely glued that motherfucker in a lot. So he'll be in there chiseling and shit to extract much of the port assembly. But now, a couple years later, we put 2 of our Relentless version 3 12s in a John Nolte double shot box in our friend Jake's car. And Jake beat the snot out of these subs and was playing infrasonic frequencies, you know, 18 hertz and 20 hertz. And these 12s like broke in and got like real loud, but then it got like, he was like, it got like kind of sloppy and like I had to be kind of gentle and like, it sounds really good if I'm not pushing it very hard, and I was like, oh, that's weird. He brought it in and the subs were the most broken in subs I've ever seen. Like these went from like very stiff 5 spider pack 4-inch coil,
like prison status.
They got really, really, really broken in, like super compliant. So we pulled DATs on it. The FS was like 20.9 hertz on these woofers. They're solid. And I was like, oh, these are like super SQ sealed box drivers now. Like, let's see how well they do. You know, and Jake's on right now. And Jake, your subs are ready. I built new subs for Jake, Relentless F4s with some prototype surrounds that we're testing, all sorts of different prototype surrounds that we're working on because we keep tearing up surrounds, which some of you guys that were at the Showdown are aware of. I tore up some surrounds in the Raiden. I was like, oh, look what I did. Holy shit, don't play 22 hertz. That was bad.
Not some. It's like 50% of them.
Yeah. Like, yeah, I think 5 of the 12 had torn surrounds, and I lost the dust cap on a couple. Anyway, but yeah, so hopefully Steven will be putting those 212s in because I want to hear that thing. And he'll be giving some SQ demos in his fucking sick ass Porsche. It's a beautiful car. And Jake will have his big badass ported 212s with our F4s, 15K, doing 212 out of the trunk hair trick demos. So it's pretty rowdy, beautiful Kia car. So
not what you expect when you see hair tricks and you put 212s with it.
Yeah, and you look and you're like, the back seats are all the way in and everything is functional, and this car is just fucking crushing. This is sick. It's a nice build. It sounds great. We're learning a lot from that one though. It's one of those like we're asking where you got a 15K on 212s and you're like, oh, I broke them again. Fuck, I'm not surprised. Oops.
Speaking of broken 15Ks.
Yeah. What did you do? How dare you? Something had to get in that motherfucker.
Water it had to because it sat for 7 months, like untouched, just being walked out, check voltage, go back in, and then first turn on, it was just like, nah, I'm gonna sit this one out.
And it just went to protect. Did any magic smoke come out or anything?
No smoke, just protect.
And when you disconnected the speaker leads, did you get to do that test or no?
No, I was able to disconnect the RCAs and it still made the speakers do the pop.
Yeah. Oh, shop phone. Yeah. Did anybody contact? Oh, Jake. You should come tomorrow. Now. Jake is watching the show right now. Yeah, Jake, come tomorrow. We're gonna put your subs in, and we meant to contact you hours ago. Maybe send him a text so that just in case he doesn't see me say that. Jake, you can. Yep, he said come tomorrow if that works. Yes, there it is. We made an appointment.
Hell yeah.
To install his subs tomorrow. There he is.
Video appointments are better than text appointments.
Yeah, better call Jake before I leave.
Yeah, good job. All right. See you tomorrow morning. Thank you. Good job. Appreciate it. Yes. Thank you. Bye. So, yeah. Yep. How's the amp look? Oh, yeah, your amp was broken, Jake. You shook that motherfucker to death. But we have another one here for you. We'll put that in, and we'll work out the repair of the other one. So, yeah. So right now the F3 and F4s are purpose built, right? So depending on how much power you're running, I probably wouldn't build you an F312 if you were running less than 3,000 watts a sub. But I could pretty much build you an F3 that would RMS for 4,500 watts. It's a fucking monster. The F4 again would be something that probably not less than 4,000, but I can build you an F4 that'll RMS at 6K. It'd be an absolute monster. So I would build them with according soft parts, depending on if you're doing, a fourth or a sixth or a ported box or what we're trying to do. And I might even choose different coils. So teraamps 8K, okay, that's one piece of information, but what is your enclosure memo? What are we doing? And what is your goals? You're like, I want to play ultra lows. Then I might lean towards the F3s because the F3s have a more X mech, and I can build a pretty crazy F3 currently. We are playing with some stuff. Probably. Josh, I would probably use a relay for that. You got to use one for the lighting, otherwise you got a big ass 30 amp switch, so clack, it's like you're better off with a big badass relay, or maybe multiple relays. Maybe separate the amps on their own relay and the lighting on their own relay, just because I don't want anything fucking around with my turn on offs of my amplifiers. Right? You might make some heat.
On that same turn on circuit for the amplifiers. Yeah. I've done it before and it may work. And just because you do it and it works does not mean it will keep working that way. You're always pulling voltage from the turn on signal.
Somebody made a funny joke about foot picks, and my wife had me put my foot up on this sub box and send it to him. Oh my God, it's funny. But yeah, you'll be real happy with a Warpath 30L. That'll be badass.
30L, what size is that?
It's a 30 amp hour, and it's long, and it fits under the back seat behind the sub box in a Ford truck with a.
I was about to say the truck, yeah.
Yeah. So it like tucks in right behind like our anchored box with the 2.5 inch lift. It's fucking trick.
That's pretty dope.
Yeah.
That's the box you anchored off of the seat supports?
Yes.
Dope.
Yeah. Yeah, it's beautiful. And I'll tell you what's crazy is we put the exact same, we took the subs out of Eric's existing box, which the internal structure of the box is identical. It's literally the same. We put the exact same subs in the anchored box and bolted into place. And we fired that thing up, and I was like, God, that seems like it's like a little bit louder. I said that to Gavin, and then we didn't say anything to Eric and his wife, and they were like, what'd you do? Wire this thing down or something? This motherfucker's like way louder. And I'm like, I think it's just bolted into place.
Better made.
Let's find out. And we just unbolted the box real quick. It's 4 bolts. It took way longer than we thought it would. It was like fucking 20 minutes of us fucking around with the bolts to undo it. But once we got it loose and we listened to it and then we bolted it back again, it was like that for sure made it fucking louder. Now that doesn't surprise me, but it was so significant that it surprised us a little bit. You know what I mean?
It's also you're not making boxes out of the same wood as, or was it two of your boxes?
Our boxes, our
Oh,
you know,
okay,
our
never mind.
regular Ford box versus our, yeah. And I think if my box was built out of MDF, like, okay, a box built out of MDF that is just like it's upholstered or it's just there it is, an MDF box.
Yeah.
Will sound a little different than an MDF box that's sprayed with bed liner.
Right. Tracking.
It will. Like,
but that's people not understanding like the difference in densities in woods and multi-layer and things like that. Like all that stuff makes a difference.
I mean, this is, we've known this for years. I've always been like, bolt that shit in, it'll sound better. Bolt it in, it'll sound better. I've always known that. But to be able to go, I unbolted it and I listened to it, and then I bolted it and I listened to it, and it's like, holy shit. I'm like, God, I'd kind of like to put this on a meter. And that would have been a fucking pain in the ass with dragging a meter out and the whole fucking thing. But at some point, we probably should. That's probably a pretty cool little YouTube video I could do. It's like, check it out. The fucking anchored thing shows on a meter on the glass or at the headrest. Like we could have fucking, and we do a blind test and we put the people in. And you're like, is it loud? What do you think? And they're like, oh, I think that's a little louder now. And then you're like, okay, and we check that. He said it was louder with it.
Do it.
Yeah, it could be. I mean, like I have a shitload of time to do that. We are freaking out now. Like we were freaking out before the showdown. For the showdown and for the Gately show. And then now we have the Gately show 5.5 weeks away. And I am fucking like out of my mind. I'm working so fucking hard. And
I'm different. Dude, I'm happy that the Gately show is 5 weeks away. It's probably the biggest break in the show season that I'll get, because I had my show, then right after that I had the Vegas show, and then I have TDH coming up, which 9 times out of 10 I'm probably not going to take a build to TDH, because moving shops and customer stuff and trying to close out the Hummer is probably not, it'll be too much of a stress point for me. So I'm going to get the last little things in the Hummer dialed in before the Gately show, because that'll be the biggest break I have. But I can't keep putting myself in that stress point where I'm freaking out because I'm squeezing, running a business, doing builds, and making the shows for the show season. Like, that's a lot.
Right. It is a fucking lot, dude. And I'll tell you, man, like I love going to shows. I love it. It's fucking fun. But I like when we get going, and like by the time we're like on the road and I'm all, fuck, man, is this fucking worth it? It's so much work and it's so hard and it's this and I'm so tired, and I'm like, and then we're fucking driving for 10 fucking hours, and you show up, and then you're like, hey, there's all my people, and you're happy, and you have a good time. And like through the show, it's just like a whirlwind of, and we're hanging out, and we're high five, and we're hugging, and we're fucking getting demos and meeting new friends, like the guy David and the other guys with the fucking base. What are the fucking vehicles called? The what are they called?
I know what you're talking about. The fuck.
The
street battle cars.
Street battles. Those are sick, dude. They sounded fucking good. We are doing some stuff with that, and going down that path and like all that shit was great. And then it was like, damn, I need to be in the shop on Monday. So it was like, fucking 2-something in the afternoon. I'm like, I fucking love you guys, man, but I gotta fucking bust a move, man. And we got home at like 2 o'clock in the morning, and I was at the shop at 7 a.m. getting after shit. And it was like, Monday, Tuesday, it was like, yeah, that's worth it. Like, I get inspired. It's, it's hard, and you feel like, man, I'm burning the candle at both ends, but there's something about it. You go to the event and you get recharged and you get invigorated, and you get all of your customers that you did all that work for, and they appreciate all of your effort, and they have ideas to do more shit. And they, and then you see customers bullshitting with these guys, and pretty soon the guys come wandering over, and they're like, I want to give you a call next week and talk about my build. And then, and then a week later, that guy calls you up and goes, hey, I want to, put down a retainer, and I got this idea for this build in my car. And it's like, okay, so it pays me to go to these events. It's
Yeah.
fun. I get to see my super homies. We got to dig up any of the photos that we got of me and you and Steve.
Did we get
did
one
get
out
a
there?
couple, didn't we?
I don't think we did.
Were we dumb enough not to get that? No, I thought we did. Who was taking
Ye-
pictures of us? Wasn't Steve right there in the morning? On
I was about to say
Sunday?
you probably have to get with your favorite photographer who lives with you.
Yes. I'm pretty sure she got us.
I know she got a lot of stuff.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we got to use that for the thumbnail. We got to get a new one. And we'll get
Yeah,
another new one for the Gately show. But
I'm about to say
anyway.
we get one if she didn't get, we get one at the Gately show.
Yeah. We got to for sure do that. But yeah, man, the shows are fun. The Showdown is always a good time. Like it's always been one of my favorite things, man. Back when it was at Texas Station, and obviously Texas Station is gone. Those shits were some good fucking times. I got way too intoxicated twice at that event. Like, but thankfully I'm not drinking right now. I haven't had a drink since
Did you
Halloween.
get one of these?
What the hell is that?
There's a kid giving him. He gave one. He walked up to me. He's like, "I made this for you." He gave
For
one to
you.
me. Yeah, he gave this one to me. Gave one to John, and he gave one to John Hart. And I think like one or two other people out there.
Steve is on the road on his way home. He had to work. He didn't get off work until 6 o'clock. So, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Well, maybe was that like Sunday afternoon or something? I feel left out.
No, it was Friday night.
Oh shit, man! I guess I'm not part of that love fest. All good. Not everybody loves me.
I mean,
Fuck that guy. No Pickle Rick for Gately.
I know, right?
Fuck him. I probably made fun of somebody smoking cigarettes or something
love
like
me,
that.
They just don't tell me. That's the favorite part. People that don't love me usually don't tell me they don't love me, but pretend they love me when they see me.
Yeah, that shit's rough for me. I dig that shit. That's why Steve Mead don't like to go to events. Steve's like, I don't like that snake in the grass shit, and these people be like that all the time. He's like,
I am going to have to go to Steve's house and kidnap him just to see him.
Well, you got to see him at the Gately show last year.
I didn't see him. He was there, and I didn't see him. And then at the Steve show that we just left, there was a guy taking pictures of my truck that looked just like Steve me, and I was staring at him like, "Is that him?
Did he sneak up on us? What the fuck?"
Yeah, I'm like, it looks. I should have took a picture of because he looked just like him.
That's funny. Yeah, Steve will probably be at the Gately show, but again, you know, shit. Years ago, I think it was like 2017 or 2018 at Sky High Barbecue. Steve showed up and, you know, wandered through and got some demos and was taking pictures of people and there was this fucking online trolley dude that be talking hella shit on Steve all the fucking time, and he wanted to go over and like, "Can I get a picture with you, bro?" Right on, man, thanks, and like took a picture with Steve, and like people were like, "Bro, why do you want to be all starstruck and fucking let me get a picture with you on Steve when you're like this dude that's online talking shit all the time? Like, what the fuck kind of motherfucker are you?"
That don't make sense. You talk hella shit to him and then you want to get a picture.
Yeah, and then you want to be his fucking buddy. Oh, look, it's the guy. And it's like, you forgot that you were like, the guy's a dickhead. You know, it's like,
you're still a dick, but I want a picture.
Yeah. Like, oh, that was awkward, right? You know, and it's like, Steve's like, man, I don't like these motherfuckers like to talk shit on the internet, and then in the real world they want to try to act like they're cool and you're cool, and I don't fucking like that. You know, that's the hard part of, you know, this community is so many bitch ass people, and I'm like,
the internet's only
you're not wrong. I can't argue with you. I just, you know, and I'm like, I'll tell you what they'll do. Like, they'll do the same thing they do to me, right? Like, because you're just like me. Steve's like 5'5". He's also a little dude. They'll still be a fucking coward and have nothing to say to you in person. Nobody ever has shit. They go, I get motherfuckers on me huffing and puffing on the internet all the fucking time, and
the internet
shit in the real
only
world.
Safe about 65%, and that's even if you stay in your house the entire rest of your life. Like, that's the only time it's safe. And I think people just consider they take that and they make it 100% thing. I'm going to say it here, but Bobby's not going to remember who I am when I see him in person.
Yeah. or they change their mind. You know, we had some beef back in the day. And I'm like, you had beef. I don't know who the fuck you are. Fuck you.
It's cool if you change your mind, but let me.
I told you to go fuck yourself. You were in my comments saying nonsense, and I told you were saying nonsense. No, that's normal. I don't even get upset about that. I'm not surprised.
I'm cool with it, but you have to let me know that you changed your mind before you see me at an event. Don't just pop up at the event. Oh, I changed my mind here because I saw you. If you say, you know what, bro, I fucked up, you send me a message and I'm like, okay, cool, moving forward. But it can't be when you see me in person. You said fuck me 2 days ago on Facebook and now you're here. And now what? I try to be a very peaceful, amicable person though.
Yeah, I had recently. I had a customer had brought his vehicle to a shop, and they had done an install for him, and it was a Ford truck, and they used like an LC2 connected to the subwoofer channel that's part of the B&O system. And the Fords had that pullback thing, like after like 30 or 45 seconds, depending on how high you have the volume up, the sub level pulls back, right? And what happens when you do that is, let's say hypothetically you're pretty efficient with your tuning, and we got a bug flying around here. I'm gonna try to kill it. Anyway, if you're pretty efficient with your tuning, you crank it up, you boom, boom, you dial your fucking gain, and before the pullback happens, you have it dialed pretty good, and then the customers go, dude, why does my bass fall off after like 30 seconds? Now, some customers will just automatically turn their fucking gain up higher on their, on their bass boost or something, right? Or their bass knob, right? But a lot of times, like, they're tuning it and they're going back and forth, and then it does the pullback, and then they turn that fucking gain up, and then they go, okay, there it is, and it's set, and it sounds great, but only after the pullback. That pullback starts and happens every time, like a song change, you change stations, or every time the level going into that system pulls back. If a fucking song has a really dry part of a bass line, if it has like an empty section of bass line, the fucking signal comes back up again in those trucks, right? So anyway, if you are if you're tuned that way and the customer's like, I'm used to listening to my beat at this level, the signal is clipped to dog shit going in, and you're fucking and the signal's clipping, right? Not the amplifier. So it doesn't look, you don't have a clip light, but you're fucking throwing a square wave through the amplifier and you'll fucking fuck your subs up, right? So customer burned up a couple of his 8s, and I'm like, dude, you shouldn't be burning coils with Assault 3 and 3 of our Alpha 8s. Like, you like, that's, you're clipping. And he said, dude, I have no clip light and it sounds good, but it's like kind of sloppy and it's this. And I'm like, I think you have a signal issue. And so he starts describing it. And I'm like, oh, I am very confident this is what your issue is, right? And I'm like, let's, and finally the is a young man, so he has his dad involved talking to me. He's like, let's call the shop and let's talk to them a little bit about what's going on. And I'm explaining it to the guy, and the dude gets super mad at me. And he's like, oh, it's a Gately problem. That's not we don't have that problem when we do DDs and we this. And I'm like, hey man, like, listen, it's a real thing, I promise. And I'm not putting any blame. We're sorting this shit out together. And he kind of gets a little more attitude with me, and I'm all, okay. I'm like, check it out. I'm going to send you to a different shop that doesn't, that's interested in working with us to help sort out your problem. I'm not pointing my finger at these guys, but this guy's clearly not interested in learning something new and doing a better job with his work. And I get off the call with the guy, and I actually reached out to a colleague in the area, and I was setting up this customer to travel a little further to see it. And then the next day, the guy called and was like, I have to apologize to you because you were 100% right. And even if you were wrong, I was a stupid asshole, and I am so sorry. He was like, I wasn't in a great mood. And you were telling me we had done something wrong and we didn't understand what we were doing. And I didn't want to hear that, And he's like, we've done a lot of trucks like that. I got a lot of customers call. And I'm like, and that's the right thing to do, man. And the fact that you're probably going to do that is going to make all of those customers love you. And they'll probably be happy to pay you for whatever labor and you know what I mean? And like, you're going to, like you may not make a bunch of money on making those changes, but hopefully you can make it a way that you don't lose your ass on making those changes to those customers. We had a really great conversation. Dude was super cool. And I loved it. And I was like, now this guy and this shop are on my list of shops that I'm happy to send customers to, after it opened up with this guy being a fucking dickhead, and I made a joke with him about like, he said something about, hey, and customer and he had these DD speakers and he had an issue with them and I wanted to warranty them. And then they didn't make those ones anymore and they had new ones, but they didn't fit the same. And I was like, yeah, that's the DD problem. You don't have that with gaming. And he started laughing and I was like, I'm just fucking with you, man. So I'm like, but I get it. It's a thing, right? Like, DD sells a lot of products. So they change out a lot of shit all the time. So it's in their defense, but at the same time, DD be changing their products a lot, and that throws a curveball for a lot of dealers and distributors. That is problematic sometimes with.
Yeah, when frequently discontinuing your own products.
Yeah, especially after you give like your distributor a pretty good deal on, hey.
So you can empty out your
deal on these, and you're like discontinued,
stuff.
And then you're like, dude, you're like, now I'm selling out this discontinued product that I have all of the inventory of. Thank you. Like fucking ask me
you
how
made
I
him
know.
a deal so you can get rid of it.
So that you could, and then so you bring new product in, and then you can like.
I need to empty my inventory shelves. Take all of this for this great price.
Yeah. And then we're gonna make it worth a bunch less because it's called discontinued. It's like fucking discontinued sounds like you're not supporting it anymore.
Right.
That means it makes it a lot harder for me to sell the fucking product. What are we doing?
We need a new label for discontinued things. Grandfathered. That's what we'll call it. Grandfathered products.
What is this? Want to let people know about what came from our dinner? What came from your dinner?
Uh-oh.
Memphis is in his office and the walls are painted black.
Yes.
Fucking dungeon.
Right. I painted all the walls black. The walls in my display room are black. The lobby walls are black. It doesn't show any imperfections. Hence my skin tone.
So
most of the time I'm sitting here with the lights red and the walls black.
Oh yeah,
it's more calming.
So
let people know about what came from our dinner. Steve Barber wants to let people know about what came from our dinner. Yeah, I'll keep it. I don't know how to say it. So, I was invited to dinner while we were in Vegas. By a kicker, and we had a really good conversation, really good meal, and I am now on Team Kicker and getting ready to do a very big kicker build with a subwoofer that's not released yet.
That's rad. Congratulations. I love the guys at Kicker, man. They're great. They're fucking
pretty cool dudes, man. I like them. Everything was great. Conversations were smooth. We cracked a lot of immature jokes, as that's one of my favorite things to do. So it worked out real good. He said it's called getting blacked out.
Colt wants to get blacked out.
Colt wants to get blacked out.
Yeah. Fuck. Yeah. So not that we're not busy enough, but we've been talking about making some pretty big changes in the install bay, right? We've it's been this ongoing, we make it a little better, we make it a little better, we make it a little better. Well, man, we got a lot of shit in there, and we got a whole bunch of shit coming, right? I got a fucking stack of mid-range speakers coming. and we're getting ready to place a huge order of amplifiers and a huge order of subwoofers, and so probably fall or late summer we're gonna have massive amount of shit that we need to keep in our fucking install bay, along with having room to be working on 4 or 5 vehicles, right? So we're considering pallet racking, right? Well, pallet racking material is fucking expensive. Like Steve Mead with his new shop, I think Steve spent, realistically, he just based on me getting pricing in my own shit, I bet Steve spent $50,000 fucking dollars on those fucking racks. Like I'm not exaggerating. He probably spent that much money.
Speaking of that, before you get lost in the sauce, I need some of your end user common tier Gately audio products to put on the shelves in the display room.
Yeah,
so
display stuff.
Yeah, send me a list of your commonly sold stuff.
I mean, we don't have a whole lot of fucking products, but we're talking about boxes.
Well, like 6.5s, a box.
Yeah, our 8s, 6.5s, 3s, tweeters, and those are all the mids we have. We have our 8-inch hybrids coming. We'll actually have those hopefully before the Gately show. I really fucking hope so. You should definitely stock some of our boxes, especially the truck boxes, because even though you build nice boxes,
and I don't build
boxes, having our boxes in stock gives value to the customs that you do. You're like, I have this for you, and it is.
Well, not only that, I don't build truck boxes. I hate them, so I just don't build them. So having them there, it's just a thing of having a customer come in, inquire, and I send them into the display room, and I'm like, well, instead of hearing about it, you can put your hands on some of the products.
Yeah. Maybe we set you up with some of the displays like I have in my booth with the mids and the and alphas and shields, and we're going to be doing Relentless 10s. That'll be very similar to our Relentless 8 and Relentless 6.5. That'll be fucking really awesome. I think they'll do really well. And we're going to do a Shield 10, I believe. And we might have an Alpha, or we may do an Alpha 10. I'm bouncing back and forth between the two of those. And then the newer Relentless series and Alpha series 6.5s and 8s are going to use a rubber surround. We haven't had many failures, but pretty much the only fucking failures that we have is somebody playing ultra lows and beating the absolute dog shit out of our subs, and they'll tear the surrounds up a little bit sometimes. Almost nothing that I ever need to warranty. Customers usually I was fucking really fucking around and I fucked it up. And I'm like, I'll give you a killer deal on new ones. How about that?
Yeah.
Every once in a while they're like, I don't know if it should have done that. I'm like, well, what were you doing with it? And they're like, I got an 8K on my 4 subs and I was playing DJ Rusticles at 26 hertz. And I'm like, dude, they're like, bro, it was killing it. I'm like, you were killing your woofers.
Yeah, it was.
You're asking too much of them to do that. Right. But if we put rubber surrounds, then maybe they can survive some of these abusive fuckers,
Yeah.
So we're gonna do some testing with that. I have some pretty crazy rubber surrounds that I have tooled for 12-inch subs that are gonna blow people's motherfucking minds. So pretty crazy shit going on. Lots of testing. So it's like we have all of this shit to do, and I've built a half a dozen subs over the weekend. And I started building 2 more today, and I got fucking 8 more to build by the end of the week. And I got 11 sets of A-pillars to do and 4 sets of door panels to do.
Awesome.
All in the next 5 weeks. They all need to be done. And we demoed out the box of the fucking Raiden. We're doing 615s. I got to build those subs too.
I knew that was coming.
Building that, and we got to build a whole ass new box. And we got to take his doors apart and run all new wires into all of them so that we can bi-amp all of his hybrid coaxial horn speakers so that we can tune them all individually so that he can have street battle style door tuning. That's what he wants.
Yep. I figured they had a nice talk with him. I was telling about how beautiful his build was, and he was asking about the enclosure. I told you about it when we were out there.
Yeah, what you thought of what to do? Yeah.
Yeah.
What did you think? A 615 sixth order? That was kind of almost everybody's consensus was like for what
I told him that.
Yeah,
I told him that, or I told him take some of the 12s out and reconfigure that box. Well, build a new enclosure for you, but
I could have like extracted 4 of them and turned it into a 6. That was kind of an idea, but I was like,
yeah, that was one of the things I said. Take 4 of them out.
Yeah, I even kind of mathed that, and it wasn't ideal for those 12s. I don't know how much I love those 12s in a 6th.
Yeah,
with that version of it, I would have wanted different soft parts.
Yeah.
So, but so can I say more about the different 10s? So, I mean, I have to. I said, hey, this is the motor I want. It'll be a 2 3/4 inch coil monster motor 10, relatively high excursion, but I still want it to perform well in a small-ish box. So I'm hoping that it'll be a 10 that performs well in 0.9 or to 1.1 cubic foot. These will be the demands that I have for it. It'll just, imagine what our Relentless 8 looks like, and then just make that thing a little bigger. Instead of a 2.5 inch coil, we got a 2 3/4. It'll probably be a 2,000 watt RMS 10. I will likely have a rubber surround. It'll be pretty super high excursion, and it'll be a true 10. It won't be an oversized 10. It won't be like a Sundown X or something like that, which I'm a big fan of those, but those are pretty much 11s, right? And I want it to work in a small box to where I can put, 2 of them in a truck box is my ideal. And maybe even squeeze 3 if I have a slightly oversized seat lift, like with our Ford with a 3 3/4 inch seat lift. 3 of our Relentless 10s might be super fucking badass, right? That's my goal for that. But I have to I have to build some test units and develop the motor. The motor development's pretty easy. I just pretty much scale that motor design that I came up with years ago that created the Relentless 6.5 and the Relentless 8. They are literally scaled. This is this much bigger in every way. And so I'm going to do the same thing with the 10 to create to the 2 3/4 inch coil 10 essentially. And there'll be some adjustments to the top plate and the pole to correctly accommodate the coil, right? And then probably doing a shield 10 will likely have a 2.5 inch coil, and it'll probably also work in a similar size box. I like the idea of making sure that my subs like the same size box. That way, if somebody has their box for their shield and they go, I want to run way more power, let's go Relentless, and so they just drop the other sub in and boom, bam, done. They're good to go. As long as the mounting depth is appropriate for the monster Relentless 10 that is going to have a massive mounting depth. It just has to. So, but yeah, that'll be pretty cool. So yeah, that's more information about the potential 10s that are coming. And hopefully we have them by the end of the year. Realistically, lots and lots. Every new product needs a shitload of testing. And the more new products you have, the more testing you have to do, the longer it takes to do all the fucking testing. And the smarter I get, the dumber I feel. And the more I know, the more I know that I don't know. So the more I feel compelled to test the shit out of everything in sight. And I don't know when the fuck I'm going to do all of that, but here I go. Like, I received prototype surrounds on Friday, and I built 2 subs for them on Saturday, and I received prototype surrounds today, and I already built one, and the second one I've gotten started on. So, yeah. You want to see some crazy shit? I'm going to show you guys because you guys are awesome. Now, it looks really, really fucking ridiculous.
Good Lord.
When you're looking at it, when it's just in your hands. But that is a true rubber fucking surround for a very high excursion 12-inch woofer. And this is a just slightly larger than a 10-inch cone on here. So we lose a little bit of cone area compared to a regular 12. But but we're gonna have 12-inch subs that are good for fucking 4 inches peak to peak.
That's a golf cart
X-Mech.
tire.
And it is rubber, like real fucking rubber.
Good Lord.
Yeah. If you fucking bit into a foam surround, you'd fucking bite a chunk right off of it, right?
Take a chunk straight out.
Yeah. And if you look, like, I don't know if you can see the sub, it doesn't look quite as weird when it's on the sub. I guess it's kind of hard to see because of the.
I can see it. It don't look as high.
Yeah.
But I know it is.
Yeah. What's up,
a micro pallet for the subwoofer.
Podcast. I'm on a TV show thing right now, so I'll see you later, alligator. All right.
Yeah, I got to get ready to jump off here anyway. I got to get ready.
Yeah, I'm gonna
go back to the shop stuff.
Eat the subwoofer. I mean, like I'm showing you that because the people that know, if you fucking grabbed a foam surround, I'm trying to see if I have one sitting around here, fucking show you I can take a bite out of it. But 24 is like fucking gangster. So all the testing I've done so far with the 24 has been fantastic. I designed a new box. Let me show you guys what that looks like real quick before we jump off.
For 500 stars, Bobby will bite a chunk out of that surround.
What is that?
I said for 500 stars, Bobby will bite a chunk out of that.
Yeah, I'll go get a foam surround. I'll fucking rip my teeth out of my head on that one. Hold on a sec. Let me do this. All right, I hope I don't crash my computer because I'm going to render this motherfucking box and I'm going to share the screen. All right, so that is a 10.5 cubic foot dual slot ported monster for the 24-inch sub that we're going to build hopefully next week. Yeah, the deal is that we built a box for Christopher Pierce, and here's Steve. Dude. So we built a box for our friend Christopher Pierce. 10.5 cubic foot. Steve, you're hearing me. Monster for the 24-inch sub that we're going to build. Something's funny going on there with the audio. Hopefully next week.
What is that?
It's me repeating like that was strange. Dude.
Saw.
So we built a box for our friend Christopher Pierce.
Is it Steve? What is it? What's going on?
Can I hear you guys?
I don't know if it's Steve here. I just muted Steve. Let's see if it does. Yeah, it doesn't do it when it's like something's causing your. Oh, he's gone. Steve, but I got him muted. If you unmute him, it won't even let me unmute him.
Yeah, it was definitely something with him. What is that in that box, though? Is that a subwoofer?
That's the basket for the 24. Like, so, I mean, remember, I created the basket design, right? You've seen it, no?
Yeah. What the hell?
Here, so the basket looks like this.
Jesus.
So I made this out of acrylic to make sure everything went together the way I expected it would. And then I had Steve Mead cut the parts for me out of steel. And then John Nolte welded it up for me. And then we had our powder coat guy take care of it for us. Stop this render. Stop the render. Okay. All right. So, where are you? Oop. Oh, I'm sorry, Steve. There you go. I went to add you, and it was really strange when you added earlier. I
had my phone playing the feed. That's why I was like echoing or something.
it was wild. It was like I was hearing me from like fucking 10 seconds before. I'm all, the fuck is happening?
Yeah.
But yeah, so I prototyped this out of acrylic to make sure it worked the way I wanted it to. And then we cut it out of steel. John Nolte welded it up for me. He got it powder coated. We built a Neo sub. We did a bunch of break-in. It was fucking badass in break-in. We pulled DATs. We sent all that information over to Hunter. Hunter and I both developed a few different versions of a sixth order for it. We did some testing. It's fucking badass. And then I want to just have it in a regular ported box and see what it's like. So, but the sixth order, I was like driving around in my van playing fucking 17 hertz, and it was just fucking violence. And I was like, this is so rowdy. I'm gonna fuck my van up. It was really cool. What is this group delay comment you make? Oh, I see. You're talking about the internet. Yeah. No, because there's a little bit of a delay how things work. So when we say something, it takes you guys actually about 5 or 10 seconds to get what we're saying. So we were hearing that. So
look at all that fucking gray. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, you're catching up to me fast.
Did
you guys see the fucking picture of
old
Mel Gibson and next to me that fucking Allie posted? I'm all, Jesus fucking Christ, my beard looks exactly like his.
Yeah.
He was a lot cooler looking when he was fucking Mad Max, right? I'm like, fuck. I wish I looked like the Mad Max version of fucking Mel Gibson, not the old fucking crazy dude. But whatever. He's still a fucking badass. Yes.
So, I know I missed most of the show, but
that's all good.
Did you guys talk about the showdown at all? Or?
We talked a little bit about it. We'll have the 24 on display at the Gately show, hopefully in this box, maybe even it playing in the van. And maybe we pull it out, and then maybe sometimes we put it in the van, and maybe I'll take the van through the fucking lanes or some silly shit. But yeah. So yes, the showdown, we talked a bit about it. I was talking about it at first. The real showdown. The showdown is so fucking rad that other people want to call their fucking event the fucking showdown, because that's the fucking, when people are like, bro, one of the best events of the fucking whole year, bro, it's the showdown. And then people are going to be like, yeah, which one? Fucking real one, bro. The fucking real one.
I'm throwing the official Gately Barbecue Showdown.
The Gately Barbecue Showdownology.
The Gately Showdown at the barbecue.
The fucking Gately shit down fucking ology.
Fucking
barbecue.
Yeah, it's weird. It's like, I mean, I don't know. There's a lot of names out there you could pick. I understand the showdown's used for a lot of events, but like, there's only so many car audio events, and you can't have like 4 or 5 of them named something showdown.
I'm gonna just call mine the hoedown.
It's wild. Hoedown, throwdown.
Hoedown would be good.
The hoedown.
Okay. I mean, if you changed yours to the shit down, that would be pretty fucking cool. That'd be funny.
And it's gonna be sponsored by Bobby. It's gonna be sponsored
Bobbyology.
No, Bobby Barber.
All kinds of shit.
Bobby Barber, fucking shit down-ology.
Bobby Barber
barbecue.
Shit
down. But anyways, about the showdown, I know you had to leave early, but my favorite part was the street battles, because
that's what I heard.
Be a part of it. And fuck, it was so much fun, man. And they get literally everybody at the show was there. Everybody that was still at the show, crowded all of it. And dude, if I didn't stop it, it would have just kept going. And there was people that were like, no, I want to go. I was like, we got to start a wars. This shit was only supposed to last like 45 minutes. And we're like 2 hours in now. Like we're done battling. But dude, yeah,
we went back and listened to those fucking cars like 3 times. Like I was talking to Tyson and Gavin. I'm all, bro, those cars are fucking so sick. And didn't you hear them? And they're all, no. And I'm all, well, let's go. And like fucking we go walking over there. Tyson's like, this is sick. And I'm like, and he's like, what do you think? Like, just put the mics back here? And I'm like, yeah. And we fuck around with the mics and we do this and this and this. And then and he's like, sick. What are we doing? And I was like, we're gonna do the fucking Doors of the Raiden. And he's like, fucking sick. And we're like, yeah, dude. And then we're like, and then David was talking. I was talking to him. He was playing different stuff. And then we were trying to blow up his subs. And I felt like a piece of shit because I asked him to play a song. And then he had smoke gushing out of his woofers. We're all pulling subs out and shit. But they were all fine. They all played. But I was like, bro, I will give you Gately subs for half price. I'm so sorry. I feel like shit. will you play this song for me? Like that, dude. I don't even like. People are like, play this. I'm gonna go fuck yourself. So like, yeah.
So for the people watching, I'll explain what street battles are because most of the people watching are probably West Coast folks.
Yeah.
So this is something that's pretty much East Coast dominant. Virginia, Jersey, Philadelphia, or Pennsylvania, New York, parts of Florida. I think pretty much all up and down that coast. It might even kind of skips the Carolinas and goes straight to Florida. It seems like. But anyways, what it is it's a car that's meant to play really loud but really accurate and clean, like total separation. I mean,
It's
the
clarity.
vocals from the mid bass to the mid range to the bass, every speaker's doing what it's supposed to do, and it sounds incredible. So,
and you're supposed to listen to it from outside the vehicle.
Yeah,
you don't get in it.
Yeah, these are outside demos.
Stands around the fucking thing. You know, in like some of them, it's like semicircle. Some of them, it's all the fucking way around it, right?
Yeah. So
depending on the organization and rules.
There's I could post the rules maybe next show, but it all has to do with cone area. It's subs and mids. Tweeters don't count towards your cone area. So they have 7 classes, I believe. Extreme, heavyweight,
this
lightweight.
Amount of cone area, this amount of cone area. Defensive, featherweight, lightweight, middleweight, heavyweight, and then extreme for those people with outside speakers.
Yep. So
cone area cheater right here, son. You got 5 inches of fucking peak to peak excursion on your 12s.
Nah, they're gonna count that as a 12, bro.
Yeah, you measure that. It's just a 10, bro. It's like a 10. It is really, really similar. The cone itself is a little bigger than a 10 cone. Actually,
that thing's massive.
It's all rubber.
So, but basically, what happens is you line up against somebody. I don't know, Memphis. You've been a part of this more than I have. Like, do they do round robin? Do they do brackets? Like, do they do any of that?
So it's usually belt wise or position. So you'll battle for the positions. The call outs are usually like a week prior, and you battle up in your bracket. If you sit at that point in the bracket at the top, you pretty much have to defend your title or defend your belt against the person below you who can call you out. At some places, it's any point in time they can call you out, and then you'll be tiered for the next street battle that comes up. You two will battle it out. It's 3 rounds and 3 judges, and you have to get the chips. The chips have to be in your favor every time. The chips are the votes. And the votes are done by the judges, who should have trained ears depending on where you're doing the street battle at and who's judging.
Yeah, so it goes 3 1-minute rounds. This car will play for 1 minute, then this car will play for 1 minute, and then there are usually they use a box now, I guess, that has 3 slots in it, 1 for each round. Yep, and like you were saying with the chips, for the people who are watching that don't know, each judge will basically get 9 chips. They're going to get 6 chips. They're going to get 2 for each round. And like the red chip is the car on the right, the blue chip's the car on the left. But the cars themselves don't know which chip they are. Only the judges know. So after the first round, the judges are going to drop their chip in round 1 slot for who they think won, either red or blue. And then at the end of the 3 rounds, they're going to tally up round 1, say it's 2 blues and a red. So then blue would win. Round 2 is 2 reds and a blue, red would win. And then round 3 decides it. So basically,
they really do it like a boxing or an MMA fight with 3 judges, and they it's kind of all or nothing.
Yeah. And like Memphis said, you try to get people that are non-biased, that are just have good ears, that are just going to call it what it is. I think it would be great to like blindfold people. I don't see why there could be you could set cones up around the cars with string attached to it for like the guide for
just get a handler.
Yeah, but you could have a handler, but if they don't want to do that, you could literally just set up rope around it, and then they just put their hand, just follow the rope. You'll be blindfolded, and you won't know what car is what.
Nope, not unless you got somebody who street battles a lot, and that judge has been around them a lot, because everybody has their choice of songs they like.
So you blindfold them, you ball gag them, and you hog tie them, and then you wheel them out in a cart.
Yeah. Yeah, electric cart that's on like a track. You build a little train track around the car.
Oh yeah, just cycle them around the car every time. It's a rotisserie.
Yeah, fuck.
They're on a rotisserie. Fucking
Rotisserie,
God,
man.
what is wrong with me?
Yeah,
Jesus
fucking
Christ. I mean, like,
Yeah.
I don't want to be a judge. Some people are like, dude, I want to be a judge.
He said Madonna is a song choice. Madonna would not go well in the street battle. That's another important thing in street battles that a lot of the bass heads are going to figure out is that the bass songs, like the songs you're used to playing for demos, are usually not good street battle songs. So there's a whole different selection process of choosing your street battle song, because what you want to do is you're trying to showcase balance and clarity. And then the loud is a third factor, because you can lose to a car that's not as loud as you, but sounds way clearer, more crisp, and more balanced than you.
Yeah, no doubt. The way that those things were playing, it was like, you know, like the mid bass would almost smack you better than the subsystems would, and those things were pounding, right? I mean, like, you had 415s in a fourth on like 15,000 watts, and like you go and I bet if you closed the car up, I bet it was slamming pretty fucking good, but like the mid bass, you'd be, 15, 20 feet away from it, and it'd be hot, and you'd be like, ooh, that is fucking badass right there. I love that, and everything about those vehicles sounded great. And all three of those builds were very good sounding vehicles. And I don't know how
the top guys from New York.
Yeah. So those were a really good example of I mean, they made a lot of people very excited to hear those things, right? I mean, they had me and my team all super pumped, and all of my customers that heard me like, what? Like Glenn with the Eruption is like, when do you get your hybrid 8s? And I'm like, they're fucking hopefully before the Gately show. He's like, can we get them in? And I'm all, no. But shortly after, yes. I'm like, but I'll have them on display, and we're gonna do something with the Raiden to try to get it there. So hopefully we'll have doors open demos for the Raiden playing by then. God, I still got to build a whole ass box and 6 monstrous subs. So, but we got work to do.
So I'm gonna. I talked to Monsta, who basically runs the battles up there, and I'm gonna get 7 belts for the West Coast, and we're just gonna go for it. So the way it's gonna roll is basically whoever wants to show up to the first battle, show up. You get a chance to win a belt and be the first belt holder in your class, and then that's just gonna motivate the person who you beat to get better. And then we'll do another battle, and then these belts are going to exchange hands a lot, I think, early as people progress and keep making their cars better. And then I think within a couple of years, like, we're going to have a East versus West Coast battle. It's going to fucking happen. Maybe 3 years from now. I don't know how many years, but I think we're going to get enough people.
Or maybe we'll do it and we'll get our ass kicked.
Maybe,
the first half a dozen fucking times we're all son of a bitch, and after 3 years, one guy sneaks in and keeps the belt or steals one, and then it's like, oh, he's the first West Coast guy to beat an East Coast guy, and then fucking, and then eventually someday it's,
So I think what I'm going to do is when I get these belts made, I think I'm going to do host the first battle somewhere in California, probably somewhere between like SAC, LA, and here. I mean, here I'm going to have to drive. It doesn't matter. But somewhere between Northern and LA, if I get everybody congregate somewhere in the middle, we could get enough cars to do the battles. And if I get people from Vegas to come, and I think we get it going.
Fresno, bro. No.
Yeah, I think Baby Making Music is a good place to start if you're looking for a list of songs.
Do it in Sacramento, California.
Yeah, that Walhalla on the Rocks that shit just is perfect for my car. So when I went out, I tried finding more songs that are like that have, time to breathe and really impactful.
I got a bunch of them.
I'm excited.
That'll be a lot of fun.
Yeah, and I mean, don't get it twisted. The bass side, like, that's one thing that with SPL guys we had. Like, our bass side is already there. If you could just get your doors to the level that theirs are, like, we are going to be able to compete. Because, like, when I was battling, my bass would dominate basically anybody I'm battling, and I don't have to have my bass up more than halfway. But I need.
Well, one of the things about your bass,
more.
Yeah, one of the things about your bass that a lot of them are going to have to figure out is your base carrying outside of the car is a key factor. Yours carries outside the car seat, and some people it's loud in the car, but it doesn't transmit too well, like when you're standing 10 feet away, like feeling it in the pavement.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things you have to realize that. And a lot of people also have cars that can't play with the doors open, like can't play the bass with the doors open. So those are going to be key factors in if you want to take your bass rig and convert it over to street battling or keep it the way it is, but street battle with it, you're going to have to be able to play with those doors open.
Yeah. Top ports, center ports, those are definitely better for street battle
Yep.
cars.
But that's for me. I got to jump off and get a little bit more work done before I clock out of here and then clock into the Army for my last couple months at 6:30 in the morning. So
Nice.
Cool,
Yep.
cool. All right.
All right, brothers.
Yep. Have a good night, dude.
Yes,
Later,
sir.
Memphis. You have a good night.
See you later. All right, brothers.
Yeah, we'll
Caleb.
jump off here in a second. Too.
Yeah, I think we're gonna pin it. Yeah, I'm starving like I'm gonna die.
I'll
But,
just answer this one last question here. So like the guys from New York, I think their cars had 10s, 8s,
Yeah,
or maybe
literally.
10s. They have a variety of stuff, but every single car had at least, I'd say, up to a 10-inch mid bass.
Yeah.
They all had compression drivers and horns, and basically just full three-way. You need a three-way setup. Like that's what I'm trying to figure out. Like I was talking to you, Bobby, is if I could add 3 or 4 7s to each door and then do 9 7s in the tweeters. But I really would love to have a compression horn, but they don't make one, and I don't really have the depth in my doors for that either.
Yeah.
So hopefully the 7s can do what I want them to do. I need to separate that. Like I need the 9s to play 100 to 800, maybe even a little less, 100 to 6, and then have the 7s play 600 to like 25. Because where that impacts at like the 250, 300 range, when you're having the 9 do that and the vocal part, the lower vocal end of the vocals,
Yeah, it gets a little sloppier, right?
Yeah, you got to pick one or the other. So
Right.
like mine almost has too much mid bass for the vocal side. So I need to be able to up the vocal side, which I'm hoping to do with the 7s.
What if, and I don't know how hard this would be, but what if like we got in the door and we made a little divider for the upper and lower section of speakers, and then you ran them on separate channels, and these ones are running this frequency range and these ones are running that frequency range to have the same effect. They just happen to be the same size drivers, but you have it, I mean, as an option. It's just popped into my mind of like, these speakers will do it, and they don't have to be producing all the same signal because they're the same size. You could say these ones do this, those ones do that.
Yeah, I've thought about that too.
Okay.
I'd have to definitely separate the two sides.
Yeah, otherwise it'd be, I mean, it's almost worth just seeing what it was like, and then you're like, that's pretty fucking good. It would be even better if I separate it, and then I don't know. Yeah,
I don't know either. It's worth a try though. I mean, it wouldn't be that hard to put them on different.
Or even like maybe the doors stay like they are, but you go, okay, the roof speakers, those ones all go from, what was it you wanted to do? 600.
Well, either way,
and the doors are just
everything needs to be. If I'm going to compete like with those guys, I need to have a 3-way.
Yeah.
There's like no way around it. So like doors and roof would both have to do that, in my opinion. I don't know. The doors aren't the doors.
We'll rebuild that whole structure and add a bunch more speakers to it. We'll fucking make it go all the way around, and we'll put more tweeters, and we'll have 9s and 7s on it. And
yeah, I've thought about a bunch of different things, like almost doing where you only see the throat and it's like a horn loaded enclosure, like the concert ones, and have the speakers in the back side like firing into the back wall, and then they come into that throat, loaded horns, and put that all the way around. You wouldn't see any of the speakers. It would almost be better for me as far as weather protection and stuff, but I don't know how to build those or design them, and I don't know if they're going to sound any better.
I bet they're better. I bet they're way fucking better. Because that's how most really amazing fucking outside concert speakers are usually.
Right. Yeah.
For that range, right? So I think maybe on the roof, that's a really good fucking idea. And again, that might be the thing where we go, okay, the roof is doing this shit, and the doors are doing that shit, and that might be the fucking answer.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm down. I love the idea of having a fucking row of 3 7s above all the 9s on the doors. That'd be pretty fun gangster.
Well, I think technically my roof is illegal. I think you're not allowed to have like stunt boxes like that. Like you're allowed to have stuff like in your grill and in your windows firing out technically. But I don't think you're allowed to have the box up top. I'll have to clarify that with him.
Well, maybe we class that, you know, like it's a fucking extreme vehicle. Now it's like totally, you know, it's kind of drivable. It's, you know what I mean? You're like, it's fucking ultra heavyweight. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you're like, because they want to get away. They don't want the cars like John's truck to be able to compete.
Right. Well, then you have that ability where you go, okay, this is ultra heavyweight, and there's John's fucking stunt wall, and there's your fucking truck, and then there's, you know, the guys that,
yeah,
you know, that makes it, you know, a little bit different. It's worth.
Yeah, possibly. If there's but if there's only a few of us, I don't know. Fuck. But there, like I said, I can't wait to start the battles, and hopefully people are into it, and it's just another facet of something that we do because it's a lot of fun. I mean, it's way more fun than running in the lanes. You know,
it's way more. It sounds way cool, and it sounds good. It's exciting, and it sounds good. So people that are like scared to get in a demo rig and experience it, they can get the bug a little differently, you know. If we have if your build is at the Gately show, and every once in a while we're like, Steve's gonna fire up his fucking rig and do like a street battle run, and this is what it sounds like. And it's like get a crowd of people around it, and it's fucking pounding, and it sounds fucking beautiful, and it's like, this is fucking sick. You know what I mean?
I bet there's probably going to be at least one build up there that has a lot of door and a lot of bass, and we could do an exhibition battle. I'm down to.
I think it'd be great. Yeah, we would find some guys that have some killer doors and be like, hey, let's do like some exhibition battle runs with these things over here, and we just say, hey, let's do it. My wife's gonna be like, what the fuck are you talking about? You're gonna do another thing? We're like, we're just gonna pull the fuck up over here on Saturday afternoon, and we're gonna do we're just gonna fucking do it. These guys are gonna be right there, and everybody's gonna cheer, and it's gonna be awesome, and we're gonna take a half an hour to fuck around and do it.
Yeah, so, I mean, I'll help you guys. I can manage trying to find the people and stuff too, so to not have you guys doing the extra shit.
Be like, hey, fucking, let's do this, and we talk a little bit about how it goes, and maybe we have Ray on the mic, be like, hey, Ray, could you fucking help?
I mean, it doesn't even have to necessarily be cars like mine either. Like Tyler battled, and his car, it's like a perfect. I'm saying perfect street battle car, but it's like what a lot of people can easily build. It's got a decent amount of speakers on the doors. It's got 612s. It's nothing like, holy shit, you got to build $100,000 car. Like you could compete and sound good.
Yeah, so like Tyler's a good option, and we have your rig, and there's got to be a few people with some killer. Hopefully the Raiden, we have the fucking Raiden pull up, and we open that motherfucker up, and it's jamming like crazy. Yes, we're gonna fucking bring the Raiden for that. And then it's like, yeah, here this. It's not just get in and do a hair trick. It's not just, it's this rattling monster. It's this motherfucker sounds beautiful, and there it is sitting there chooching. So that'd be kind of fucking dope. Yeah.
I think most people in car audio want their build to sound really good, and they don't really know how good it can sound until they get in front of a car like those street battle ones, right? So it's like, even to you, somebody who's been in this game for a long time, like, it even surprised you, I think. Like, because I know when I saw it the first time, I was like, I didn't even know this was fucking possible that a car can sound like this, So
I figured it was going to sound fucking great and it was going to be fun. I didn't know that I was going to be that excited about it. That's really I was like, I bet this is going to be badass. I'm really excited to hear these things. And then I was like, oh my God, I got to have this now. That's really what was the part of it that I was super into. I was like, oh, fuck. I need to get on this fucking level. I am inspired by this shit right now. Like, oh my God, I want to be,
What's your
swinging these
hybrid
doors
8?
open.
Is your hybrid 8 like a compression loaded 8? Is that what it is? Horn in the middle?
Yeah, it's got a horn in the middle and
Okay. And can you wire them separately?
Yes, you can.
Okay. So you can run a completely active.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, those would be really good. Those would be good. And fuck, I mean, if you really get into this, man, the bass side of car audio, our friend owners and all this shit, we don't really have any pro audio stuff. There's maybe a little bit, but like, PRV, whatever. I think, one of us or a few of us start making some really good pro audio shit to go along with your car audio stuff. Because like the street battle stuff, it's kind of necessary. You need some pro audio in there, something that can get loud and have that impact. Cool. All right, you go eat.
Yes, sir. You getting out of here too?
Yeah.
Thank you guys all for watching. I appreciate it. Fix your engine noise. Tune your fucking mids, bro. Tune those mids. But yeah. All right, kids. Steve, it's good to see you. I'm glad you made it on for a little while. And all right, I'm gonna end this fucking stream, and we'll talk again real soon.
See you next
Love
week.
you. Bye.